he came and he said he's going to walk me home because he's going to the barber to have a haircut. And I was afraid of him because I liked him. So I went up and hid in the girls' bathroom until he fought with his sister-in-law. But even though he liked every baby I had, because he's the oldest, if he heard the baby cry, he'd be up at night. And I'm feeding the baby and he's laying with his head on my shoulder. And until I finally had to tell him, you gotta go to school tomorrow, so you're gonna have to go back to bed. He never gave me any trouble of doing that. He went back to bed all right. He probably got a mixture of grades. And there's a girl down here, if you saw her. Every baby, she'd have time out for a baby. She had lots of babies. And every baby she brought to school so the kids could see them. Do you remember that? Mrs. Grossenbacher? And then she'd bring her baby here. One of her babies is here. Wow. And she's one of the babies that she's crippled now because she had a stroke. Mostly on that, because I worked there quite enough to get retired from there. But I sold tickets at I sold candy at the candy counter at the movie house, and I sold tickets at the place too. So I did those things, and I worked at a restaurant that was next door to the theater. During the day, I did a lot of different things while I was a teenager. And then I got a job at, because there was an ad, I think, that they were hiring at it was a center. We always call it the center. But there's mostly handicapped people living there. You got that thing sitting there. Well, it was always a safe, nice town, and we didn't lock our doors. That's something to remember. I'd go for a walk, and I didn't lock the door when I went for a walk. I went for a 45-minute walk, and I didn't lock the door. So that's something. There, that's the guy who's the big winner there. I liked Tom, and I thought my mother should have named my brother Tom. She wanted to name the baby when she had the boy first, after the two grandparents. And my grandpa, his name was Ray, and he said he'd rather the baby be named after his brother that was killed in the First World War, and which is Clyde. So that's why he got the name Clyde. But my grandma favored him. And then when we went out for cheerleading, we got to be varsity cheerleaders by the tryout. So we were the only people that were varsity cheerleaders when we're underclassmen. And that's something. But they didn't change it. He just made a rule, you can't do that again. Now there's a rabbit out there. I've seen it before. A sister, my brother died, and my sister's still living, but she's out of money now, so she's got to go live with her son. They already had that plan, but she wanted to stay independent as long as she could. But they like dogs, and they're happy with it. They got fenced-in backyard, and they're happy to have her dog come and live with them too. But she fell and cracked her ankle while she was there one time before, so I don't know how that's going to work out. Dixie Ray, I got Ray, R-A-E, after my grandpa because he didn't get the boy named after him. So I got Dixie Ray. Worked at the shop near my house because I used to walk sometimes up there and wait for them to get out of work and they walk with them home. And he did funny things. He did really funny things because I cooked a goose one time because we got up in the morning and found a goose out back. And I cooked that for dinner and had his folks over. Gooses are greasy birds. And I didn't have any bedtime because I was the mother. I got the kids to bed. As soon as I had the good kids to bed, I could go to bed whenever I wanted. Dogs, they got hit by a car because they were on a bad road. They were hit people. In fact, one dog, the guy said he'd take him home and bury him for us. And one came running to the backyard, and you could see the fleas run from his body. So a lot of our dogs got hit by a car. The cats were inside dogs. I never knew too many games because canasta was in back then. My in-laws used to get together with other couples and play canasta. But I didn't ever learn to play canasta.